Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and welcome to Stamp It Like It's Hot. This month, the challenge is to stamp and color an image. So I'm further adding that this is going to be a companion page to a page I did for Mixed Media Mayhem for yesterday. And I actually made this layout about an hour or so ago, and it's uploading as we speak. Um, so I've mixed, since my photos are one of Vicki and a couple good friends, Danelle and Carrie, and then this awesome one of Paige. I've mixed Paige and Vicki's collections, their latest collections, Adventurous and Bold and Bright. For these, this title came from Vicki's mixed media collection that's in Joann's, but everything else is a mix of the newer collections. And so I'm going to put this aside. You'll see that splattering is a large part of this. It was a requirement for yesterday's Mixed Media Mayhem, but to make the pages compatible companion pages, let's say, I'm going to do some splattering in a little bit different way. And these are the supplies I've gathered. I've already done some stenciling and some stamping of stitching on to meet other requirements. I didn't think you needed to watch that. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to do the splattering right now using the same colors that I splattered that title with. I'm going to splatter these flowers, and then I will color the centers that are white now. So, and then we'll let those dry. And all of these Adina Wakely gloss spray colors ought to show up nicely on black. I'm hoping. That's kind of what I'm banking on here. It really, I loved how the title came out for yesterday's page. Okay, there. And let me get this pink. I really want to get a fair amount of pink on there. And I'm going to pull maybe an unexpected color. After this dries, I'll color the white centers. One more color to add, which is this bright bluer blue. The other one was a turquoise greenish blue. Okay, so now we'll put this off to dry, move these over, and we'll do some other coloring. I have stamped these flower clusters from Paige's collection of stamps. It's from the Adventurous stamps, and these. And I have those black flowers were just from Vicki's collection, and this little flower that I'm going to stamp directly on the page also from Vicki's collection. So right here I'm going to use some water on a stamp block and a paintbrush directly on Distress inks. I'm going to do the greens first. I'm going to do each leaf kind of half this green, which is mowed lawn. And I'm using Distress inks so that it doesn't cover the black lines. And I'm just loosely coloring, not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to give it a loose watercolor sort of look. And I'm not getting real particular about any of it, like coloring on this side of one leaf and then on the other side. And I'm gonna use cracked pistachio for the other color unless I feel like it looks too much the same, in which case I'll switch over to something else. I've got that as is cracked pistachio. I was going to say, well, looks like what I would have expected cracked pistachio to look like. This is mowed lawn. I thought I was using mowed lawn, but I was not. Okay, and there. So it'll kind of look like there's some shading of a different color on the same leaf, so it'll make it kind of makes the leaf look like it's has some um, dimension. Might be bent, you know. We want our leaves to look bent. And reflecting light in a different way is basically why it looks bent. Okay, I'm going to color flower centers with some paint markers. Okay, so that's all the green I'm going to use. I'm now going to go for some yellow, and I'm going to do in this cluster, I'll do the wide open flower in yellow, and I'm using a paintbrush that probably isn't is is thinner or narrower than it needs to be, but it's kind of applying the color in an interesting way, and it ought to work nicely for this one where the strokes will be. This is actually what I chose it for, was to do these kind of striped leaves, because I can go heavier on one side than the other, and it also gives the flowers, the petals, a little bit of dimension. This is beginning to get annoying because it's really not picking up much color on the brush. It's not holding much color, but I'm okay with that. Let's go here and do one of these flowers in yellow. I'll do the other one in pink. That one's not stamped perfectly, so I might tuck that one behind. And I may do, one of the small flowers in yellow. Actually, the small flowers, I'll do both of the small flowers on this one in yellow, and I'll do them in pink here. Okay, here I'm going to switch over. Actually, I'm going to try to clean the green off of this brush, because this holds a lot more of the color, and I don't really want to have to go through my whole collection of lashes. I've got this carved pumpkin, which I know I said I was going to do pink. I'm actually going to do this orange for at least some of the little flowers. I'm going to do this one, for example, in orange. And I'll color the center of that in a blue, I think. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to color the inside of this little flower with orange. And I'll color the inside of the other one orange, but the outside's going to be pink. And this brush has some errant um, I'm going to color that orange and this orange just to get a little bit of a variety there. Now I don't have to clean that as well to switch from orange to pink. This is picked raspberry, and I'd like for this to be nice and really pink, and it is. And I'm kind of messing up, overlapping on the yellow petals, and that's okay. That's part of that messy watercolory sort of look that I'm going for. And now I'm gonna go back and shade in there, and kind of the area around the center I'm going to try to branch off dark and let the perimeter sort of be lighter. And here I'll do a very messy pink flower, and here we'll do this one in pink, kind of let the edges of the flower be white, just coloring it just a little bit differently each flower. And here I'm going to go every other strip there, and then I'm going to take just some water and do the other strips, and that has now picked up some of the yellow and the orange, and I think that's kind of cool. But I want more pink on there, so I'm going to go kind of reinforce that, particularly at the center. And I just noticed that this leaf only has one color of green on it. I'm going to pull some more mowed grass and do that. I'm going to maybe go over that color on the other leaves. Okay, I'm probably done there. And what I want to do now is take the blue Vicki paint marker that's part of the mixed media set, and I'm going to do the very center of these flowers in blue. I'll leave that one orange. Kind of circle that one around in blue. And here I'm going to cover the black part entirely with blue. Now, around these flowers, around the very center, is kind of a little scallopy bit, and I want to get, I'm sorry, I'm having to stand up. I want to get the lime green here and just make a series of dots, and I haven't primed this one yet, so there it is. Okay, so I'm going to try it on here first because it'll contrast quite nicely. As I go around making dots, that actually keeps with the scallopy look, and it's a little juicier than I might like, but I still don't hate it. And I think I will do the centers of these tiny flowers with this green as well. Now, those have to dry. So I'm going to start playing with paper. So I've used several different mediums and several different techniques, I guess, for coloring. I haven't colored stamps a lot since I stopped making as many cards as I used to make. So I don't and I generally don't color the images that I stamp for layouts. Not sure why. Maybe this will get me doing more along those lines. But for now, I'm thinking those are going to be colorful enough to work on my page. The sketch I'm using is this one, also by Lisa. This is my yesterday's sketch. This one has a strip down here so I can hide the part that got splattered on yesterday's page. And then there's another here. This is going to be a blue. This will be a pink, and this will be a lime green. And then the blue is going to kind of go across the center. Instead of two photos, I have one photo that's square, and I have a couple tags. So let's pull all that up, and we'll get some things glued down. So, see, this is where I splattered the page yesterday. So I switched it out for a clean page and left this one available for today. Okay, and here I actually smudged some ink right there. And that's okay because I can now cover it up. And that works out for my design just perfectly. Okay, like I said, I've stitched stamped some stitching onto here beforehand. I'm going to lay this kind of evenly across there, and I'll put some foam behind this photo. I think I've done a better job this time of actually having things within reach. I did a lot of pre-work, and I know that's not as instructive a video for you guys, but you know that I'm always available if you have any questions about how I did something. If I didn't show it on the video, I can usually explain myself. Not always, but and not always effectively. But okay, let's get this on the back of here. And let's see, I want this over a little bit. I want the stitching to show, of course. I don't want to hide it, and I don't want to hide too much of that tag, but I think I've got I'm not real happy with that, so I'm going to pull that down a little bit more. I kind of let me do something different here. I kind of want this to go over the tags, not up there, not kind of stick up like a bubble. I didn't know that I'd be spending time rewiring, rethreading. Let's see. That's probably good, and this can remain kind of free form there. And if I need to adjust that, I can. Okay, my biggest cluster is going to be right down here, and I want to set it on with a backdrop of this. This is from the paper repack in Vicki+Paige+Lisa's collection, and I'm going to try it right here and see if that, I think it looks fine. I think that's okay. I'm good with that because I'm going to be obscuring part of it with this. This is the fabric that was called for on yesterday's page, and I just wanted to repeat it. It also contains the metal that was required for yesterday's page and is also required on today's page. And I'm going to kind of move it over this way, and then I'll put a little bit of glue under it, and then I'm going to kind of cover it up with flowers. I don't want to cover up that pretty ink splotch, but I have this one over here that should be good. Let's do this, and maybe I'll do that floral. Maybe I'll do it here. And I'm just going to put a little glue on the tag and the photo there and kind of just tap it down and then see what I can use. Maybe this could go under. If I did that, then I don't want this there. Maybe I want it here. And I could do, like up here, I thought maybe I would put this down by the photo, and this maybe on the photo. And maybe that, but I'm doing this without bringing the, I haven't brought the splattered black flowers in yet. So we'll see where those go. I'm going to put this I'm going to put it upside down because I think I want to keep this little guy right there. I don't want to tuck the bud up under the tag. So I'll do that. Now let's get the splattered flowers and add those in. In yesterday's page, I really made a specific attempt to have black and white in with the bright colors. And so I'm doing that same thing today. I want to do one maybe right there. This is kind of confusing me at the moment. And if I did one here, that would work. And so that leaves me two that I could do here. I'm kind of covering up that whole little thing there. Do I still want this? And I have to remember that I have this. And I think what I was going to maybe do is use both of these flowers kind of loose there and put this up here. Maybe here. This may go in the back, and then I'll do this over that and kind of tuck this in there. And so I have room for another one of these, which could go right there. And then do I want this at all or not? I'm thinking that can work. I don't need this or this. So I'll put those aside. And let me just kind of tack these down. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the pink one there, and I'm going to put the yellow one up, kind of tucked under the badly stamped part, tucked under right there, kind of joining that cluster. Here, I love how the splattering looks. I'm going to go do some stuff to the centers of these once I get them in place and see what colors I really want to bring out. So I'll do that. And I'm going to use this because I just love it. And I like the kind of blue-green color that's, I'm going to just bring it right in the middle so you still get the effect of the fabric without it kind of standing out too much. I'll put a little bit of adhesive there and this, and I'm going to put some foam behind the orange flower there. And then we'll do this. Oh, just moving my elbow back just that little bit to get to that. It's just like somebody hit me with a hammer. For those of you keeping up on my COVID status, I'm almost symptom free. I'm a little stuffy, as you can tell by, and my voice is not what it's supposed to be, but I don't feel either of those things. It doesn't make me feel bad, if you will. Let me stamp a couple of these little flowers around. I don't want that ink. I want my VersaFine. This, by the way, is the stencil that I used, and I used that Black Soot Distress Oxide. And that stencil is from Bold and Bright by Vicki+. Okay, so I'm going to do one little flower right there, and one there, and one here, and one right here. And I think that's probably all I'm gonna do there. Put that there. I need hexagons. So I'm gonna use an orange hexagon right here. I used a single orange hexagon and put it on the lens of a camera that I used there. Let's see. For this one, I'm going to put the hexagon right here, kind of adjacent to that, kind of part of that cluster, but on the photo. And I need to get that parallel. I never line those up right. Okay, now here's my lovely stopper. I've been working down it. I apologize for the quality of my videos because I'm still not 100%, and I'm trying to rush to make sure I get some commitments met before my surgery, and I'm maybe not doing a good job of anything. I'm gonna put a blue center in the middle of these little stamped flowers, and here and here, and I'm gonna kind of do one in the middle of this green mess here because it looks like I should. And I'm probably going to try to do these little center flowers with this blue. It's not going to make a lot of difference, but some. Okay, now I'm going to add some black splatters because, let me put some glue down to hold those away from photos and stuff. I'll just kind of attach it there and let it be free form from there, and I'll attach this one here and it can be free form beyond there. And I'm gonna let "It's a Good Day to Be Happy" be my title. That is from these two tags, and I think these two papers are both from Paige's collection, and this is Vicky's. Let's see, and the stamps, these stamps, the open stamps, are from Paige. The black flowers are from Vicki, as are the little daisies. Okay, what am I doing next? I'm doing black splatters, which means I have to cover up. I'm going to cover the photo panel, kind of this. But if I get black splatters on the flower clusters, I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm going to stick my mask. Nah, I'll handle that later. Okay, so I'm using Black Magic, my Black Marble Shimmer Spray by Dilutions. I'm going to lift that up a little bit and try to get some on that flower cluster. Make sure I get some on these little flowers. I'm getting everywhere but the flowers. And then up here, I will do this kind of, and get some there. Just a few. Okay, so a few got in the white part, and kind of concentrating that around one area that doesn't have too many is this one right here. Okay, I think I'm done, and let's see if it looks like it's a good companion page for this one. Let's look at them together. I think so. The colors obviously are the same, and the vibrance and energy, I want to say, the enthusiasm and excitement. I'm going to look for, and I may have to fussy cut it, a Paige Evans butterfly to put right here. This looks a little bit empty and blank to me, so I'm going to hunt for a small butterfly to put right there. So that's the only change I'll probably make off camera. And I thank you very much for watching. Let's make sure. I've got a hexagon. I've got the color blue. Do I have the color blue? Yeah, some of the dots in the middle of the flowers. Metal, this little metal staple thingy works for that. I used a stencil, and I have some stitching. It's stamped fake stitching, but it's stitching. And my requirement was to stamp some images and color them in, and I colored, albeit not greatly, but I apologize for taking shortcuts and being, maybe a little less organized than I usually am. But I really appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow, I guess, for Scrap Squad Sunday. Thank you.